pay the bills, pay taxes, pay the government, and maybe make $1 million by the time you're 40 and then die. Well, maybe not that early, but you get what I'm saying. You're definitely working a job where you know deep down that I am meant for more, to do more than just work a normal job. And maybe you're at work, you're constantly thinking about the business that you're trying to build, how you're gonna make money, how you can transition out of this job. And the truth is, there is no real easy answer. I'm not just going to sugarcoat it and tell you that it's going to be easy for you to transition out of your job and run a business full-time, work from anywhere in the world. I'm not telling you that it's easy. It's actually extremely hard. But also working your 9-to-5 job is also extremely hard mentally. Even if the work that you're doing isn't physically hard to do, mentally it's weighing in on you. You just know that you're meant for more. And now this is how I was able to actually transition out of that job. What I did was by documenting my journey every day, by filming my content, by doing all these things, once I was able to package my skills into a offer, a high ticket info offer, that is when, and that's only when, I was able to transition out of my job. But before I actually went all in and I transitioned out of my job, I made sure that I had a valuable skill and a valuable plan. I made sure that I had everything in line and an exact roadmap before I even started, before I even took any major risk like quitting my job. The first risk that I took was starting. And that is the first thing that you need to understand that you need to do. You can easily change anything you want in your life. You can change your job, your career, you can change your hairstyle, you can do anything in life. And so it really was understanding mindset first and going all in. It was making that commitment to myself. If there's one skill that you can learn, I would say learn marketing and learn the other skill that you're trying to learn. Because if you can market yourself and if you can put yourself out there, anyone is going to be able to listen to you, trust you, like you, and then whatever it is that you're marketing and whatever it is you're talking about or your skill, you can sell it. You can monetize it into a info product. And that's what it was. And so for me, I was building these skills while I was working a part-time job, okay? It was a 9-to-5, but I was working part-time because I was also in school. So mind you, I'm in school, I'm working a 9-to-5 job, and I'm also building my business. Very similar case for you because you probably have a lot of different things that you're juggling, maybe family, relationships. Oh, by the way, I also had a girlfriend who I was seeing every day. So I was building my personal brand, learning high income skills, going to school, working a 9-to-5 job, and having a girlfriend. So I had a bunch of things on my plate. I don't know how I did it, but I found the time to do it. And the thing is, I was spending a lot of my time doing things that were necessary to do, like building my personal brand, like learning sales in the free time that I had. I wasn't just surfing the web. I was focused on building my personal brand. And this is crucial because while I was building my personal brand and documenting and posting consistently, I was building a valuable asset, which is the personal brand. By documenting my journey every day, by filming my content, by doing all these things, once I was able to package my skills into a offer, I needed to sign one person. That was all it was for me to replace my income. And I was so fortunate to have and to be in the position to only rely on signing one client. And once I was able to do that, I was able to transition out of my job because I'm so grateful because I was living with my parents. I didn't have many crazy expenses. And I also had a lot of money saved up from working my 9-to-5 job. And so with that in mind, save enough money, save at least $10,000 in your bank account so that you can just rely on it if you're actually going to go all in, which I 100% recommend you doing if you actually want to take this serious. If you actually want to like succeed with your online business and with your personal brand, you have to go all in. When I first started my personal brand, I knew that I had skills. I knew that I was able to create great content. I was valuable because I had the skills. But if you are just starting out and you don't really have valuable skills that you can share, you need to learn skills. But at the same time, you need to start posting. You need to start putting yourself out there. And when you are documenting your journey in public and when you are documenting your growth and how good you're getting at the skill every single day, people are going to build trust and people are going to follow along in your journey and see the transformation of you in real time. They're going to see the consistency. They're going to see you getting better at your skills, getting better at whatever it is that you're doing. I suggest picking a high income skill like sales, marketing, consulting, personal branding, copywriting, any kind of high income skill. Any of those skills are very good to learn. For me, I knew how to make great content already. I knew how to put myself out there. I knew how to speak to the camera confidently because I had been through immense training with acting and I had been working on film sets where hundreds of thousands of dollars are on the line and I had to perform on the spot like that when they yelled action, okay? So like I was used to performing under pressure. I knew how to speak to the camera. I knew how to be confident because I'm just a confident person. I'm confident in myself, but I had all these skills. I had this skill set. And so I was documenting my journey of learning sales, of learning high ticket market sales, of learning how to sell, of learning how to run a business. That's basically the skills that I was learning because I wanted to create a powerhouse duo with learning sales and with learning marketing, because I knew that if I can combine those two, I would be able to run any kind of business model. I chose those two skills specifically because they're transferable to many different other business models that I plan to start getting into when I am older, like real estate, like building a clothing brand, like building an e-commerce store. But I knew that I needed to build these skills first and master them. And so they always say choose one thing, but I think that you should choose learning one thing, but also learning how to document your journey as well, and learning how to speak to the camera, and learning how to just market yourself and marketing. If you're going to decide to choose building a personal brand, you've made a very, very good choice, because building a personal brand is going to give you a lot of different leverage points. One being you're going to be able to connect and network with many different people if you have a valuable personal brand, because people will naturally gravitate towards you if you have something valuable to share. You look at my personal brand, people always hit me up every single day. People reach out to me. If I reach out to someone, they're going to respond because they're like, hey, this is a valuable person. I can get a value exchange. I'm not just going to give him value and he's going to take from me. That's what everyone is trying to do to me now. People are reaching out to me because I have value to give and they are trying to take the value out of me. So number one, you're going to become a valuable person if you build a strong personal brand that you can position yourself as an authority. You're going to become very valuable and people are going to want to work with you and network with you. That's one thing. Then second of all, anything that follows after your personal brand, people are going to listen and engage with and give attention to, because if people can give attention to you, they're going to give attention to the things that you do, the actions that you take. So if you are talking about fitness and you've made a bunch of videos about fitness and you have a lot of different videos that give a lot of great value about nutrition, fitness, workout plans and everything, people are naturally going to listen to you if you say, hey, I've launched a fitness program. This is my free blueprint that segues into my fitness program, or this is my new gym leisure wear. Go check it out. I'll give you a discount code. Like, you get what I'm saying. Like, personal branding is so powerful because when someone knows and likes you, naturally they're going to trust you. And if they trust you because you're giving out so much value and so much free information and you have built a personal brand that is authoritative and also just like overall, people just naturally like listening to you and like watching you. Once you can learn to be entertaining and like give value on screen and give that presence, people are naturally going to trust you. And when it comes to you launching an offer, when it comes to you launching a product, when it comes to you launching a clothing line, whatever the case may be, people are naturally going to look into it. You just gotta do the math. If there's 100 people that are interested in you and you have one piece of clothing brand, the chances are at least one person is going to want to wear it because they are invested into you. That's how it works. That's how celebrity endorsements work. Because like, if you think about a shoe line, you think about Michael Jordan's shoe, like billions of people know who Michael Jordan is. With that being said, there's a majority and there's a big population of those people who know Michael Jordan who are going to buy his shoe just because they like Michael Jordan, because they resonate with him, because he's a very good basketball player. So you just need to become valuable. And so for me, while I was doing that, I was also learning the high income skill in the free time that I had. I probably had like 3 or 4 hours every single day, or some days I had more, like on the weekends. But whenever I had the time, I would find the time to make sure that I non-negotiable post a video on Instagram to build my personal brand on IG, as well as find the time to plan my next YouTube video. I've talked about this so many times in terms of like my content distribution for my Instagram and my YouTube. I'm not gonna go into that rabbit hole, but basically I was so focused on just building my personal brand and learning sales in the valuable time that I had. I wasn't focused on researching different business models and researching different ways to make money online and everything. I just chose to build the personal brand, and I guarantee you, if you just build your personal brand and document your journey every single day of you learning a valuable high income skill, which choose whatever it is that you want. And you might even have valuable skills. It might just be building your personal brand. You might already be a sales rep. You might already have copywriting skills. You might already know how to build an e-commerce store. You might already have these valuable skills that people want to learn. So it's just about building your personal brand. And I was doing that while I was working my job, okay? You can't dilly-dally and do whatever. Once you have the skill, once you have the offer, once you have the personal brand, you have to go all in. Otherwise, you're just going to be side hustling your entire life. And you're not going to be able to hit the 10K months, 20K months. You're not be able to get anywhere close to that. You're just gonna be stuck at maybe 1 or 2 clients for the rest of your life. And I know that you don't want want that. I know that you want to run this into a 6-figure month business, and it's very possible to run it up into like 100K plus per month business. I haven't personally done it. I'm going to do it, but I just know that it's going to take time. And like anything, it's going to take time. That's why I suggest you start your personal brand early while you're learning your skills, while you're building your personal, while you're packaging your high ticket offer, because it's going to take at least 2 to 3 months to actually gain attraction, build a following. If you're actually doing it properly, if you're giving out good advice, if you're really good on camera, if you're doing all the necessary steps that is correct, it will only take like a month or two to actually build a genuine following that trusts you, right? And that's all it really takes. And so once you have the following, once you have everything set up, you got to go all in. You can't dilly-dally. You have to just go balls to the wall. Understand that you are going to live off your savings for a month, for 2 months. Find ways to have other side hustles that don't take up a large portion of your day, like a 9-to-5 job. You need to find a way to just have money. Don't go out for dinner. Like, tell your girlfriend, like, hey, we're gonna go for only one dinner this month, okay? I need to lock in on my business. I need to not go on any vacations, okay? And that's what you gotta do. And sorry if I'm sounding harsh, but like, you know, that's just the reality. Life is hard. You need to choose your heart. So you could either choose to work on your side hustle, side business while you're working a 9-to-5 job, and while you're stable, and while you're having like a good relationship, having a good time, but you're not making the money you actually want to make. Or you can put all of that stuff aside, ask yourself what is actually important. Because when you're choosing to go out for dinner, when you're choosing to work that 9-to-5 job, when you're choosing to do everything else that's not work, that's not going to push the needle forward, when you're choosing everything else but work that's going to get you to where you want to go, you're actually telling yourself subconsciously that those other things are more important than your business, than what you actually deeply desire. So why would you settle for anything less than what you actually desire and what you actually want, for the money you want to make, for the lifestyle that you actually want to live? That's really what it is. You need to just go all in and understand that, like, you need to, number one, have a good savings, right? You need to have savings so you can actually survive. Make sure you have enough money to cover your expenses for at least like 3 months. I'm not saying it's going to take months, it could take longer, but it shouldn't take more than 3 months to sign at least 1 client or 2 clients so that you can ideally replace your income. All you have to do, if your expenses are $2,000 a month, make an offer for $2,000 and sell it one time, and then you've covered your expenses for the month. And then the next month, do the same thing, and then sign 2 clients, and then have $2,000 extra, right? It's really that simple. If you want to make even more money, if your expenses are $5,000 a month, make a high ticket offer for $5,000, sell it to 1 person, boom. Make a $2,500 offer, sell it to 2 different people, boom. That's all it is, right? And so it's really just about going all in. And like, once you have the time and energy and everything in order to do it, you're going to see a lot of exponential growth if you're doing the right things at the right time for the right reasons, okay? Now, going all in on your business is hard. I'm not saying it's easy. Like I've always said, I'm going to repeat myself. It's freaking hard. You got to choose your heart. And the most important thing is to understand that, like, it's going to be even harder while you're transitioning out of that job, because you have to make the sacrifices necessary in order to live the life that you want. It's freaking hard. And you got to say no. You got to learn how to say no. You got to learn how to say, hey, I'm sorry, boys, I'm not going out this weekend. Like, I gotta save my money. I'm sorry, girlfriend, we can't go out for dinner every single weekend. We will one day, but like, for this month, I need to lock in. I need to sign my first client so that I can leave my 9-to-5 job. That's the mindset that you need to cultivate and that you need to embody. Because once you do that, and once you understand that, like, you need to make these sacrifices, it gets a lot easier. And once you get better at just saying no and turning down opportunities that are just anything that's gonna distract you from your work, it just gets a lot easier to actually just lock in and to just progress in your journey with whatever stage it is that you're at. And so I think the hardest thing about transitioning out of your 9-to-5 job and going all in on your business is the ability to make decisions and to say no to things, because you're going to be faced with so many distractions. There's also going to be distractions like shiny object syndrome, like, holy shit, there's this other business model that my friend just picked up. He just made his first $20,000 in his first month. Holy shit, he's telling me to do it. I want to do it. Like, you got to be able to say no to some of the best opportunities that you may think are good, but the truth is, every other opportunity, every other business make money online thing is all the same. You can all make money online. You can do it in any different way that you want. There's so many different ways to do it. You just need to pick one and stick with it. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand, is that, like, when they choose one thing and when it doesn't work, and then they think that it's done forever, I'm just going to move on to the next thing. Oh, and then it doesn't work, I'm going to go on to the next thing, then the next thing, then the next thing. I'm currently facing this right now. Right now, I'm in a slow period of my business. I'm thinking like, yo, should should I just become a sales rep? Should I just start e-commerce? I'm getting these same thoughts, but I understand that like when you get these thoughts, it's the universe telling you that like something good is going to happen, because like if you can make it through these thoughts, you can make it out the other side of the tunnel and you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. When you're in a low period of your life, the only way you can go is up. And so just understand that like there's going to be so many distractions out there, good, bad, but you just need to remain focused on what it is that's important, which is the work, which is building your personal brand, which is anything that is going to push the needle forward and actually get you closer to signing those first clients so that you can transition out of that 9-to-5 job. There's nothing else to say other than just make sure that you are ready to take on clients and that you have something valuable to share and that you can give that transformation. Because if you've had a transformation yourself, if you've gotten extremely jacked, that's a valuable transformation that you can give to someone else, like your younger self, and that's who you should be speaking to. But if you can productize and you can monetize your information as a transformation that you can give to someone else, like your younger self, that's your info product. That's your high ticket info product offer. So many people are going to be willing to pay for that. So you just need to be ready to sell it. So you got to know how to sell, and you need to know how to market it, and you need to know how to distribute your content in a way where you can generate leads organically without having to spend money on ads. Once you understand those things and you understand that like you can give someone that transformation, all it really is just the content distribution, generating leads organically with marketing, so you don't have to waste your money because you're trying to leave your 9-to-5 job. And another thing that it is selling it. So understanding the sales framework. That's why I spent time learning high ticket sales. That's why I spent time learning how to sell. I went into a mentorship. I learned sales. So learn sales, understand the framework, watch a couple videos, do mock calls, do AI role plays, do role plays with your friend, with your parents, whatever the hell you need to do in order to get sharp at sales, get sharp at your communication, because that's how you're actually going to be able to make money. It comes down to the sales. If you can generate leads but you can't sell, what is all of it for? You need to know how to sell. So the two skills, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, that I would recommend learning is sales and marketing. That's what I learned, and that's how I was able to fully transition out of my job and go full-time with my online business, because all I needed to do was sign 1 or 2 clients every single month. And I've done that up to this point. And so I've been able to provide for myself. I've been able to leave my 9-to-5 job. I don't have to rely on that. And it's only going up from here because I'm working every single day and I'm getting the little things done that are going to push the needle forward. It's all about baby steps, but working as hard as you can every day and doing everything that you can in your power to get to where you want to go. And so with all that being said, just trust the process and trust that it's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy, but choose your heart. Having a strong personal brand is definitely the easiest way to make your first $10,000 in a month, to make your first big money online, because the profit margins are actually insane. It's like 95% plus profit margins if you're paying out like an appointment setter or like a sales rep. It's crazy. All you're doing is giving away your time and you're selling high ticket info. Like that's how all these people are making all this crazy money online. And if you didn't know it already, that's how people are doing it. So with all that being said, it's one of the best business models to choose, and it's one of the best things to actually get into, because if you can learn how to get eyeballs onto content, onto products, onto other businesses, if you can just learn how to create audiences and to create content for an ICP and like touch their pain points and like get people into an offer and like to actually sell an offer, once you learn all these skills, it gets so much easier and it just becomes like second nature when you're on sales calls and when you're making your content and when you're building other businesses in the future. You're gonna have all this experience, but marketing and sales, those are the two skills that you just need to master and get really good at. And so if you've made it all the way up until this point, thank you so much for watching. If you are new to this whole info product coaching business and personal branding, I created a free 4-hour guide where I broke down literally everything. Some of the biggest info guys in this space, I broke down their entire sales funnel. I broke down my sales funnel. I explained the sales process. I explained content distribution, YouTube, Instagram Reels, everything in terms of making content and in terms of building a personal brand, in terms of monetizing your personal brand, building an info product, selling high ticket offers. I created it all into one video. It's 100% free, by the way, too. In the description, there's a link to my website where you can get that free training. Make sure you go check it out. It's super valuable. Take notes. And if you've made it all the way up until this point, like always, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you found this information useful or if you didn't. But either way, thank you for watching and stay locked in, my friend.